everyone, I'm Laura Martin. Today I'm going to show you how to create a realistic sky background with clouds in Adobe Illustrator. So first, let's open the program and we'll open a new document of whatever size you like. I've made mine 800 by 800 pixels. The next thing to do is open the swatch panel and also the layers panel. You can find them both here in Window. We're going to create two layers, one for the background, which we'll call Sky, and the other for the clouds. We're going to use a very simple color palette for the sky background. I've chosen these four colors: a darker color, a sort of middle tone, and two lighter colors. Now I'm going to show you how to create the background using the gradient mesh. So let's go to the sky layer, and using the rectangle tool we'll make a square the same size as our document. Align it horizontally and vertically. Remove the stroke. And now we're going to color it with the mesh tool. So select the mesh tool here or press U on your keyboard and make a few anchor points on your square. With the direct selection tool, I'm going to select this row here and lower these points a little. Okay, it's time to add some color. Let's start with this neutral blue, and then we'll add some light and shading. So again, with the direct selection tool, select some of the points at the top and apply the darker color. Do the same with some of the other points, but this time apply the lightest color. And we'll start to spread out over the square, selecting points and applying color. You can do this individually, so only selecting one point at a time, or you can select various points at the same time. So our background is pretty much done. Remember that you can add as many anchor points as you like by selecting the mesh tool and clicking anywhere on the square, and then use the direct selection tool to select a point and apply a color. You can also apply color to a point using a color in the mesh. So for example, I could select this point, and with the eyedropper tool, I'll click on the color I want. This color here, between these two, isn't a color that we have in our palette. So this way our gradient becomes more varied. Okay, so I'm happy for now with the background. Let's lock the layer and go to our clouds layer. I'm going to show you two different ways to make a realistic cloud. One with the ellipse tool and the other by creating a brush. Okay, so let's make the first type of cloud. Select the ellipse tool here or press L on your keyboard. Make your ellipse more or less like this and choose a white fill color. Lower the opacity to 70%. We're now going to apply two effects to get that cloud shape we want. Go to Effect, Stylize, Scribble. When we click on Scribble, this options window appears. Input these values, just copy it exactly as I have it here. If you click on Preview, you can see how the shape changes when you modify the different options. Now let's apply the second effect. So we'll again go to Stylize, but this time Feather. Let's see how it looks with a radius of about 36 pixels. Okay, so this looks a bit more like a cloud. Let's give it a Gaussian blur. And there we go. So as you can see, if I make a copy and change the size and the shape of the ellipse, then the cloud also changes shape and I get a different looking cloud. You can make another copy. So this is one way to make realistic looking clouds. Now let's see another way, which is making a brush. We first need to make a shape. And you can do this with whichever tool you like, the pen tool, the paintbrush tool, the pencil tool. In this case, I'm going to use the pencil tool. And I'm going to make an irregular shape, just something like this, and give it a white fill colour. Set the opacity to 30%. Now open the Brushes panel by going to Window, Brushes, and drag this shape onto the panel, creating a new brush. Let's select the type of brush we want. We'll choose Scatter Brush. OK. And input these values. Again, just copy them exactly as I have them. So our brush is ready. Now we can select the paintbrush tool and do something like this. Apply a Gaussian blur. Let's make another one down here. And there we have another way of making clouds. You can play around with the opacity levels. Here in the Appearance panel, you can change the Gaussian blur, make it higher or lower. Now we're going to make a clipping mask so our clouds stay inside our artboard. We can delete this shape here now. So with the rectangle tool, we'll again make a square the same size as the artboard. Align it horizontally and vertically. Select all the objects. And we'll make a clipping mask. So to make the clipping mask, you can do as I just did. Go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make. Or you can use the shortcut on your keyboard, which as you can see here, for me is Command 7 or Control 7. So there we have it. Our realistic sky and clouds background is done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks very much for watching. Bye!